Hello, beautiful souls. So, in this video, we are going to talk about repeating mistakes. So, what happened is that I folded the clothes and I kept it in its place, right? And my mother asked me that where is her scarf or straw is, and I told her that it's there, and she was like, no, it's not. And I was like, yes, I just kept it there, and she was like, no, I cannot find it, and I said something which sounded very rude to me. Like I just said something on the lines like, "You need to be more care. You need to see it more carefully," or something like "see it with your eyes," something like that. I don't exactly remember what I said, but I know that it was very rude, and I just recognized. I just said it, and I just recognized. Oh, okay. So I said something rude, and I was like, "I'm sorry." I said very rudely. I replied very rudely to you, and I was like, "Sometimes I speak very rudely, na." And she was like, "Yes, you do." Yeah, but I'm trying to change. And she told me that um you are saying this from like past few months. And I was like, yes, but I am trying to change. And at least I'm recognizing. And there was a moment I realized that when we do our shadow work and we try to heal ourselves, we do tend to repeat the mistakes. We do tend to recognize that, oh, there is something problem in us, but then even after doing all these things, we keep repeating those mistakes. Now, what happened is that, when we repeat these mistakes, there is a part of us which tells us that, why don't I change? Why I keep repeating the same things? Why I am not making any improvement, right? And all these things makes us question, like, why am I this way? And it happened with me also. So, but what happened is that, like 3 to 4 years back, if you have heard, I would not have even recognized that I talk rudely. Now, after doing my shadow work, I do started recognizing that I do speak rudely sometimes, and but I was like, I would just justify that it's their fault because they do something which irritates me, and I speak something which comes out as rude. Now, in the next stage, I started recognizing and also not giving the justification. Like, I would know that, okay, they might have done something which have triggered me, which have irritated me, but I could have reframed those words in a more proper and a good way, right? And then in the next stage, I would start recognizing when I speak something rude, I would start recognizing it just after 1 or 2 weeks, like, oh, okay, something happened. Oh, 2 weeks back, this situation happened, and I spoke very rudely to somebody, right? And I would recognize it. And in the next stage, I would recognize it in a day, like a day after, like something happened tomorrow, sorry, yesterday, and I would recognize it today, like, oh, okay, I should not have talked that way. And in the next stage, I would start catching up it in like 1 to 2 hours. And then at the current stage, it's like I would recognize it just after blurting it out, just like what happened here. Like I just speak it and I'm like, oh, okay, I spoke something which is very rude, and I would apologize for it, right? So it's not there's a improvement because you know whatever way I react, whatever way I behave is I'm practicing this way for like 20 years, right? And for me, for changing it, it might require some time, and I am improving because when I sat with myself and I, you know, checked on these timelines, I realized that yes, I indeed repeat the same mistake, but then I am improving because there was a point when I would not recognize it. There was a point when I would recognize it and justify it as well. Now, there is a point when I would recognize it just after saying it and apologize to another person. So, um, however, small it may look like, but then it's a great improvement, and I am indeed changing, isn't it so? So, yeah, and maybe there will be a point where I would start recognizing just before speaking that thing, like, oh, okay, I'm going to say something rude, so I should reframe it. I would recognize it just before saying that, and at some point, these words would not even form in my mind. I would not have even to reframe it because my the words which will come in my mind will not be rude. Maybe that's the case. So yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. Like when we do shadow work, we do repeat mistakes again and again and again, and um, it might make us feel that we are not improving, we are not changing, and it's okay. But then when we look at that situation and realize that okay, how I used to approach this situation few years back and how I approach it now, you will know that are you really making improvement or not, or maybe the improvement is there, but then when we keep repeating it and we think like that, we are not improving. But then similar to me, like in this situation, I am improving, but it might seem like no, I'm not improving at all. But then there is an improvement, right? And now it might not be an improvement for my mother because she's like, yeah, used to speak this way before, and she's speaking this way even now. So there is no improvement in her. But for me, it's like I am improving because I am recognizing the fact. So it is indeed an improvement in the right direction, right? So, yeah, that's all for this episode. So, you might, keep repeating the mistake, but just, sit with yourself and recognize that are you really not making any improvement, or are you making the improvement and, just you are just repeating to the next, you are just going to the next stage. Yeah. So, yeah, if you repeat the mistakes, please have patience for yourself and recognize that, yes, I'm indeed healing. So, yeah, that's all for this episode. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you in the next episode. Till then, keep exploring, keep learning, keep living. Have a wonderful life. Bye.